What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to have an interview with a multiple six-figure funded and over $125,000 in total payouts this year and top 20 in the big live leaderboards on Top Step. His name is Adrian. He's been killing it in our group, and it is a story on how he went from literally zero gains for 4 years to having his big breakout, and how you might be the next Adrian. So I hope you enjoy it and listen in, because this is a really motivating story. Adrian, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it, man.
What's up? Thank you, Antonio.
Let's start from the beginning. How long you been trading, and just a little background on how you even just got into it.
So I started about 5 years ago. My friend, he introduced me to it, and I saw him on his Instagram. He was making money on line charts, and I was like, how are you making money on these charts? Like, I only knew about like Robinhood and like, stocks and stuff, never Forex, futures. And ever since then, we've been jumbling through different academies. And then all of a sudden I found you probably a couple years ago, and didn't get really serious until like January of this year. So I've been trading like 5 years, Forex first and then futures. So
What do you feel is the biggest difference between the Forex and the futures that you've seen? Because a lot of people have been switching over, especially last year or so, with the prop firms and everything. A lot more people are seeing the futures markets. What do you like that it's better?
yeah, so in the futures market, they have better consistency rules. In Forex, it's very lenient, and it gives the trader like opportunity to just blow their account. Like, instead of 5% drawdown on futures, it only gives you like 2 or 3% drawdown, which is better consistency. So
It's
I
interesting you say that, because a lot of people are like, oh my God, the drawdown is too tight. But you feel like the rules being like that actually make you more responsible as a trader? Like, you don't want to overtrade, you don't want to over leverage, most things that people struggle with?
It does, because when you have a lower drawdown, it makes you really fine tune your trades and take the best ones. So
And for you, do you feel like from when you were not getting results to now that you're getting results, do you feel like the biggest issue was like a technical aspect, like you understanding like what was like your entry models or like how you trade, or was it more of like your mental, like you maybe knew how the charts moved and where price should be going, but it was like the mental aspect holding you back?
honestly, a lot of it, probably 90%, was mental aspect. Learning how to control your urge to just be in a trade, not having to be in a trade all the time. That was one of the things that I had to work through, like these past few years, and this year I've worked through it.
And
So
what have you done if say somebody's like, I work from home because I know you work from home, and like I just always want to like be in a trade because I just like this thing to P&L. What have you done to like limit yourself?
So I've been reading a lot of Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone, The Disciplined Trader, really sticking to making a trading plan, sticking to your rules, whether it be trading 1 hour per session or even 1 hour per day. So that in of itself will help you as a trader, and it's helped me. So
No, I totally agree with that. I think also like another solid one is like, if you use the X platform, you can actually limit how many trades you take. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they might even be able to limit like the hours that you trade. I'm not like 100% sure if that's true, but they do have the manual lockout. So if you're like in the middle of Asia and you're like, shoot, I want to take a trade, you could just put like 6 hour lockout or like a few hour lockout to at least like survive. Even though now, like lately, the past couple of weeks, I feel like Asia, London, has been pretty good actually. So like sometimes when I'm working, I'll trade on my alpha account, and I'll take a trade and I'll make like 1,000 or 2,000, nothing crazy, just like one mini, and then like trade my main account during Asia session. Sorry, fucking New York session.
yeah.
Now the people always love to freaking pocket check. We all seen, if you go to top 25 leaderboard, I've posted many times, you might see Adrian in there. But total payouts, including what you currently have in your live account, Top Step, What are you at?
So total payouts was total this year 102,000.
And then we're only, what is it, January, February, March, April. We're only May. So you are on track for like a $250,000, pretty conservatively. Because I know how much you are up on your alphas, which you haven't asked for a payout yet. So you're pretty conservative on $250,000. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any plans with that? Like, how does that feel? Like going from, I don't know how much you made the year prior, if you want to share that, like
The
to
year prior, I made zero.
So how do you feel now that, like, what does it feel like?
It does feel surreal because like it all happened so quickly. I didn't expect it. The power of compounding is real. Like just starting with $200, $500, working your way up to $1,000 trades. Um, it really does feel surreal. Like I haven't had to struggle for bills, haven't had to struggle for food, haven't had to really struggle for anything. Now it's just checking and keeping my mindset in check, making sure I'm not, going backwards now that I made money.
Yeah, and then, I mean, if to me it seems like you're also very grounded. A lot of people might hit a nice big payout, 30, 40,000. They're kind of like, oh shit, I'm the shit. But the way you talk to me feels like you're very much like, I'm doing well, but I need to keep my mental like where it is and stay humble because, the markets are a very tough place. And I don't know if you have like a girlfriend or you're married or anything. Like, does your family know you've been trading, making this kind of money? Or like, I don't know, your friends that maybe doubted you or anything like that, they said things negative and now they see you making money. Do you see like have they changed their opinions on it or no? Or maybe you just
Yeah,
didn't tell them.
it's funny you mentioned that. My mom was like, "You should have been doing real estate," or "Why did you quit real estate?" Or, because at one point I did have my real estate license. I was going to go into that route, and then I was doing it for like a year, 2 years, haven't made money, and then she's like, "You should have just stayed." And then now that I made money, she's like, I've always
I always,
believed in you. And I'm like, thanks, mom.
but you know what? Like a lot of parents, like I can't blame them because like they worry about you, right? And they're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is day trading shit? I never heard anybody making money off of it. So it's like they comes like I think with me, it's like yeah, a lot of people doubted you, and it's like like you kind of want to be like I told you so I was gonna make it, and yes, but you also have to understand where they were coming from. If it came from a place of they cared about you, like your mom and things like that. So I try not to hold like too
No,
much of
sure.
like
No.
resentment to people that like didn't believe in me or whatever. And of course, there's some people that like straight up haters, fuck those guys. But like when it comes down to like close family, usually it's more like of concern or whatever. Um, what is your like targets? Like, I don't know. Obviously, you don't want to set like a monetary target, but do you have somewhat of like a goal that you want to try to achieve with trading this year? Whether it's like moving mostly to a live account or like get X amount of payouts with different firm or hit max allocation with like 5 different firms and copy trade them.
So I do want to hit max allocation on alpha. Um, I want to hit 1 million on Top Step. So now I'm at the point where I have money saved up. I could just chill this year without having to like take too many payouts. And same thing with alpha. Literally, I could just chill and keep trading accounts till I take my first 15K
So you now have a
payout.
1 million of like buffer,
I
like,
want to have 1 million total as my balance on Top Step.
and what are you at right now?
It's at 100,000.
Hundred
So,
thousand. Oh, so you're 250,000. You talking about, right?
so I have
Because
the
it's one.
I'm at 180 on alpha on 3 alphas. I'm at 160 on take profit. I'm working on a 75K from take profit. And then my Top Step, I'm working on that as well. So
I mean, hey, maybe we'll see you as the number one on the live leaderboard. Because I remember last time I checked, you were like 20th or something, range between around
I was
20th.
like 25th. I was like right there.
Do you look at that and kind of like fuck for me like I got a recently payout from Alpha and I got number one and like it wasn't even the money. It's like a $50 payout after the fleet whatever. I got 10,500. But like just seeing like because I played a lot of like competitive sports growing up, just being like number one, I'm like fuck these guys. Do you feel any of that or no?
I see a lot of rake trades on there. I'm like, who is this rake trade?
That's my boy Jake Ritchie.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
he's got an Instagram and everything. It's my boy. But he's had his account for almost 3 years. Like he's
Okay.
grown that like very kind of slowly. Like hasn't really taken any payouts and he's been growing it. I think you can take him.
I don't want to look at it too much because then I'll start like kind of over leveraging and I want to beat everybody. So I just want to keep it small, stick to what I've been doing, one, two, three contracts, and then just work my way up. I'm gonna chill on the payouts at this point because I still got some saved up, and then just compound them. I
Are
already have
you
Euro.
do you split your accounts differently? Like your top step is the one you're trying to build up, and like your take profit and alpha, maybe you just like use them to like get constant payouts. Is that the approach you've been doing?
That's what I'm doing. I just invested in 1,000 in Hero FX.
It's
I'm
alive,
about
did you do the 10x account alive?
it's live. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you already made like $500 the first day. I saw it in the
I'm
daily.
650 on the thousand, so I already made 65%.
Yeah, thank you. 60. Are you and on that? Are you trading forex again? You're messing around with the forex again, or
It's
you?
Forex, yeah.
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
you're going back for the vengeance. Now you're mastering and conquer the futures. You're like, wait, I gotta go back to forex to get some unfinished business done. The thing is about trading is like people don't get it. It's like when you like learn how to read the charts, like it almost doesn't matter what you're trading because they all move as long as there's liquidity and doesn't like just fucking flat like corn futures. Like it's all pretty much the same stuff. Am I right, or like you taking a different approach with forex?
So it's literally same market structure. Prices are a little bit different, um, by like 4 points. That's what I've noticed, 4 or 5, 10 points in difference. Um, but it's really the same. Market structure is the same. So the risk is a little different. Instead of contracts, it's like lots. So I'll be doing like point 0.3 lots on $1,000.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say it's probably the hardest part, adjusting, like understanding, like okay, what it is, and all the brokers have different, all brokers and prop firms, they're all different, like loss sizes. It's not like futures. One in Q is one in Q, no matter where you go.
Yeah, I've created a challenge for myself, so I'm gonna trade the Hero FX account for 365 days.
Yeah, I'm
Not take a
excited to see it.
step.
Well, we're gonna have to check in what 364 now. What has it been? 1 or 2 days?
It's been one, yeah.
One day, 364 days, where it's at, like $5 million or something crazy in your ass. And to give me a little like what is your strategy? Like obviously don't spill every secret you have, but if you want to give a little breakdown of it.
Yeah, so I'll obviously use smart money concepts, order blocks, supports, resistances. I definitely use fair value gaps and golden pockets. That's like the number one thing you taught me. And then learning how to change your bias in like a split second. Like when you're trading New York, you know how to change your bias in a short or if it's going to long up. So really taught me how to use that. But yeah, that's my main strategy. Probably just going to make like 1 to 2% a day is the main goal. 1 to 2%. 3%. That'll get you to 1 million on $1,000 account.
Yeah, I
And
mean
then,
that's
so
more than amazing. If you hopefully I hope you reach it. It's a tough goal, and I know you are. That's why you said it's a challenge. You'll see if you're gonna get it or not. But hey, people have done it in the past. I think you can as well, especially the way you've been killing it. And if you had go back and like when you've been training for 5 years, so you kind of know the struggles. Like some people like get into the markets and have been 3 6 months, but like me, for example, I know the struggles. It took me a few years to start seeing any progress or any results. What would you wish you knew when you first started?
um, what I wish I knew. So
Take your time with answering. I don't want to rush you. It's putting you on the spot.
um, hmm, honestly, probably start with futures trading because that teaches you better consistency and risk management. Because passing any futures firm is like way different compared to passing like a forex firm. Um, Probably that. Find one pair or two pairs that you like trading, whether it be Nasdaq or gold. Get really good at those and stop messing around with like 5 or 10 pairs. Um, Trade that pair only. Find a session that works for you, whether it be Asia Open, London Open, or of course, London New York overlap. The best time to trade. Um, And then, yeah, find that mentor that works for you. Obviously, we've been together for like a couple years now. So I'm finally seeing progress. So that was really a blessing for sure.
I
Um,
appreciate it, and you know, in you put in all the work, right? Like a mentor or somebody to teach you can only teach you so much. You have the guys
yeah,
like yourself, you take and you go and attack, and you put it, you implement it, you listen. And there's people that just like they stick to their ways of like they don't care, you know, they don't, you know, they'll still overtrade, over leverage. So you know, it's a two-way street, right? Somebody can only do so much for you. You gotta take the information and apply and execute it, you know, the way that you have. And I feel like you're a big inspiration for a lot of people. Was you're somebody that's like you'd been doing it for a while, then you find your breakthrough, and now you're just like you're just going with it. You know, a lot of people get like a first little $20,000, $30,000 payout, and then they fall apart. But you just been able to like consistently, in a pretty short amount of time, you know, like only 4 or 5 months, growing that, and you know, doing really well on Top Step Alpha and all these other pro firms. Do you have? Are you the type that like, hey, I got this payout, I'm gonna reward myself? Do you have like anything you've done for yourself, like a trip, you know, cars?
well,
I don't know.
I got car parts for my BMW, like got a nice little exhaust system.
Wait, don't you work for Mercedes? Didn't you work for Mercedes?
I do. I still do. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Uh,
You can drive a BMW? They don't get mad at you?
they're not mad at me. Soon I'll get a Mercedes. The goal is to get like an AMG GTS.
Hmm.
I really like the GTS, 700 horsepower.
And how many payouts you gonna need before you get that? Do you have already like a goal in mind?
Honestly, I want 12 months of consistency before I consider getting and splurging something like that.
You're 6 months down almost because and we're in May. You're about 6 months down, 6 months to go. Could be right around Christmas, you know, right after Christmas.
Nice Christmas present for
Yeah.
myself.
No, those are nice. I mean, I'm the same way. You know, a lot of people like, again, they'll get a first nice payout and they'll spend it right away before seeing a
Right.
consistency. Like even me, my Ferrari took me like before I got a nice car was like 8 years, right? And also,
For
I'm
sure.
not like a huge car guy to begin with, so it was never like a priority for me. Just people that love it and they're like, oh, as soon as I make money, I want to get a car. I I don't really, I'm not a huge car guy, but you know, I got to a point. It's like I got.
I'm really close to buying another car, but I'm like, nope, don't do
You're
it.
trying to like. No, but I mean that's probably why you're doing so well. You're following the rules. Like you want to do it, but it's
Yeah.
like I gotta follow my rules. And it's important.
Mhm.
Do you have like it's something that you wrote your rules on or something or like that type of deal, or like you just tell yourself in your mind? Because when I started, I wrote them down on like a notebook, and I would just like try to reread them before I traded, or you know if I felt like I was like slipping away.
Literally every day, I read myself like 20 different affirmations I've made for myself.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like my trading plan and affirmations built in one. Um, and so I'll read it every day. And that's really what helps me. It keeps my mind in check.
You do it right before trading, or you just do it like at some point within the day?
Like right before trading or in the middle of the day, at the end of the day, before I go to bed, read yourself your rules. And it's surprising how much some of it sticks to you. And
It,
then some,
it it's funny because it sounds like corny and like cringy and like this kind of cringy thing to do, but like
yeah,
you're right. Even before like I even found about trading, I don't know. I watched some video and I would do it on like a little shitty notepad I had, and look at me now. Like now I don't know if that was the reason why I'm here, but I feel like I had some kind of help. You still gotta like apply. You can't read affirmation, just sit in the bed and just think you're gonna like things are gonna come to you. You still have
I've
to apply.
I've had a note literally on my computer for like 3 years, and it says to be 100K funded, and I have 12-month withdrawals. I'm already more than 100K funded, and have almost 6 months withdrawal. So like,
Have you with your current withdrawals? Are you like do you give yourself like one day of the month, or you just like, I feel good about this. I'm gonna take some. Like how you been handling that, or like
I've
as
been
soon
doing
as you can, you withdraw it.
I've been doing it once at the end of the month.
Okay, so you'll see, you look at all your accounts. You're like, okay, today I'm gonna do TPT or whatever.
Yeah, I'll do like from Take Profit or from Top Step at the end of the month. So I try and pay myself at least once a month at the end of the month.
Yeah, it's also important like rewarding yourself to like you know what you're working for. I think it's like a big switch when people are like finally either get a first withdrawal from their live account or finally get a first payout. I think like that feeling it gives you, you start realizing, oh shit, this can be real, right? Like it's not just like I'm putting money in and I'm losing every time, like going to a casino. Like if
Yeah.
I'm actually locking in, I can, make this like a full-time job, or I can make this like a really nice side hustle. And
Yeah.
what about for your job? Because I know you're still kind of working or whatever a little bit. I know you work from home, so this probably doesn't bother your trading too much. But like, do you have a goal that's like, you know what? I can step away from my job and just trading full time and I don't know, travel or whatever you like to do.
Honestly, like I do want to start a family someday, and I do want to travel at some point. I want to have that 12 months of consistency in my pocket, and then maybe I'll consider um, leaving my job because it took me a long time to get to Mercedes. So I really like, working and stuff, but it's really tiring too. So I'm picking my battles right now wisely, and I just want to remain consistent and, not say toodaloo and, all of a sudden I'm not getting payouts, which is, I don't want to have to depend on it quite yet and like push myself too hard if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that 12 months of consistency is really important to me.
No, I mean, it's, like you are, as the kids would say, nunk, like myself. So you kind of have like a better job, like sometimes a lot of people are like, oh, I made $10,000 a month trading, I'm quitting my job. But they're
Yeah.
fucking working at McDonald's. Or they're working at
Yeah.
Chipotle. It's like, yeah, of course you can quit that fucking job. You'll get another one tomorrow if you don't do well. But you
Yeah.
have a job that's like, hey, it took you some years and some experience to get to. It's not as like, let me just leave it. Because it's
Yeah.
not like as easiest to get. So like that's the main difference. All people are like, they get very excited, like, yeah, I quit my Chipotle job or Chick-fil-A to go full-time trading. But it's like, it didn't work out. You just go apply anywhere and you'll get it back. By
Yeah.
working like part-time or whatever. And I think I would say that's like the biggest difference with like people that are that were a little bit more mature is just like the responsibility. We're like, no, it's like, yeah, it might not be like the most fun thing, but we still need to be responsible. We're like think about a family in the future and think about playing it the smart way almost. And
Yeah.
it just takes a little bit more hard work, right? Like,
Yeah. I'm playing the long game right now.
yeah,
So
and that's the big switch I think a lot of people need to have in general with trading too. It's like you're still focused on like today's price action, this week's payout, this month. Like it's really hard to just like. I like to just like almost like imagine myself like zoomed out and like, okay, what is like today matter in a year? If I like
right.
lose today or from red today, like why don't I keep over trading a year? Will I even remember these trades? No, and like having that big picture mind day in and day out is like really really tough. But it seems like you have like a really good hold of that.
Yeah. I'm trying to just be responsible and not go like full port next day and then blow the account because I quit my job,
Oh no, I can only imagine. Trust me, I know exactly. Especially like when you build a big buffer, you're like, I got like $80,000 buffer. I could
Yeah.
just fucking 5 minutes and see where it goes. Close the computer, come back in like 4 hours, and hope for the best. I know there's some people that do that. Um, what about Apex? You ever thought about that one? Because that's the one I think it does get a bad rep, Apex. But if you're talking about like scalability and
Hmm.
getting those like $500,000 payouts, $1 million payouts, they're probably the one that's like where you go to. Have you thought about that? Like adding that to your
You know,
firms?
I actually have. I've. I want to add funded futures to my portfolio as well. But yeah, I want to do Apex and funded futures next for
And when
sure.
you trade all these different platforms, are you trading them all at once? Everything is getting copy traded, or is it like, hey, today this session I'm doing Top Step, tomorrow I'm doing TBT, or like you have them for like different sessions of the day, or just kind of like whatever you're feeling for the moment?
I'll have them all open at the same time, and I will like trade them all. So just small risk, which is how I got all three of them. I'm trying to work on funded futures and get one of those, so I can scale one of those, and then I will try Apex. So that would be fun.
What is some when it comes down to your mindset, like what is some advice? I asked you a little bit about the tech analysis before. Like, what is some advice that you use, at least yourself, or you kind of that's helped you through the years of trading to get your mindset from being like unprofitable to quote unquote profitable, for trading?
Um, honestly, trading in the zone, read books, The Disciplined Trader, um, start plugging into lives, with you, learn every day. The more that you plug in and the more that you see it in action from a professional, the faster you learn. And
And
when
how do you learn? Like, let's say you tune in my live stream and I'm trading. Like,
yeah,
are you taking notes? What kind of learner are you? Or like you just watching and like that helps you a
I'm
ton?
just completely visual learner.
Yeah.
So I don't really take notes. I'll retain like a lot of it. So, but the number one thing that sticks is definitely sticking to one person, um, plugging in with them every day, um, and then finding that concept that works for you. Like for me, it's smart money concepts, um, and then Wyckoff. I like to use a lot of Wyckoff. So
Yeah, and then, like a lot of times, like you get to adjust, like whatever you learn from, you just adjust it to what makes the most sense for you, and it's fine, right? Like it's almost like everyone that I know that like I trade similar to or they trade similar to me. There's always the slight nuances that are a little bit different, and it's like finding your own style. Kind of like I don't know if any sport. I don't know. What's your favorite sport, Adrian? You like a basketball guy?
I like to watch UFC, Formula One.
You like all the like
Well,
all the little side sport. I like UFC a lot, but like UFC is like a really good example. Like you have six champions, and they all have like a different fighting style. Like
yeah.
they all became champions, but they all like even in the same weight class. Like you'll change the belt, but like they all have different styles. And who they learn from, whoever was like the school, the fucking MMA school they went to, whatever their mentors taught them, they probably like changed it up a little bit to their style. So I think it's important to be like, a lot of people just want to like, oh, I just want to copy you black and white. And like they don't understand that like the way that you work is not the way I work. So you do need to be in that gray area that you take what I teach you and then you just adjust it to what makes the most sense for you.
hmm
And another question I had was, how long are like your trades typically? Are you like scalping, day trading, swing trading?
I try and scalp more than anything.
So would you like if you had to put a time on it, like do you know like your average like time on your trades? Like a 5 minute, like your 5 minutes you're in and out.
My most profitable trades have been like maybe 30 minutes.
But I do
Some,
notice you still do you're good at holding some of your trades though. Like you're not like first huge green candle, you're not like 2 minutes and you're done. You
yeah.
hold it for like that nice, like a couple 100 point move sometimes.
A few times this year I've caught like 700-point moves from gold holding them overnight. It's just knowing when you see momentum, like a shift in momentum, identifying that, and then you could just say, okay, I got one contract in, I'm holding this.
No, I saw you even did that yesterday. Like your entry was literally right before gold ripped.
Yeah.
So you're staying away from like that chop and like you're waiting for accumulation of liquidity to be built up, and then you're getting in like almost right before it takes off, or like you're holding and then you let it take off, and no, you're not scared of cutting it. Uh, when it comes down to like when you're in drawdown and like you're scared and you wanna close your trades, do you feel like you closed them earlier, you used to, or like now you believe in your analysis and like you're just letting it play out? Or you like you're setting hard stop losses, or you're doing like soft stop losses?
I'll be doing soft stop losses. Sometimes I feel like I don't close them um, like on time enough. Like sometimes it'll retrace almost 50% and then I'll take it out. So that's one thing I'm working on.
That's like you're in profits and it retraces half your profits.
Right, right. And then I'll like choose to take it out. Um, so yeah, that's one thing I'm working on. Another thing is definitely um, just learning when to take profits, like in fractions, in thirds or in
And you
fourths.
do multiple take profits, or you do all in all out?
I try and do like 1 to 2 take profits. Um, that's been working for me. So I'm really trying to fine tune that as well. So when it runs 100 points, I'm going to try and take more profits at like 50 points because then it'll come back almost to entry almost most of the time.
And how many contracts are you trading on like your top steps? That you have a pretty large buffer. Three, two,
I'm
five.
sticking to three right now. Sometimes if I find a really nice setup, I'll do like 5 to 10.
10.
So
Yeah, I mean, if as long as you have 10 stop loss, you go with 10. It's
on Nasdaq, I won't do 10 or
mhm.
5. I'll do like one or two. If it's micros, I'll just do like 15. But if it's mini, I'm only gonna do like
When do you do micros? When do you choose like, hey, I want to do micros, I want to do minis? Is it just because you want to take more profits? Like me, micros you can take more out slowly, or
exactly. If I'm trading by myself, I'll do micros. If I'm trading live, I'm gonna do 1 to 2 minis. So on Nasdaq. On gold, I'll try and do like 3 minis by myself. So
yeah, that's yeah. I mean, that's pretty solid risk management, in my opinion, especially where you are with those accounts that are 150Ks with a bunch of buffer on them. I think three's really not over leveraging at all. We've been running for 3 minutes, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. But what is, if you leave us with a few inspirational words for some traders that are like, they were maybe in your shoes a year ago. They're like, I'm not making any money, and they're ready to give up. But you're like, hey, you might be right around the corner. You kind of remind me of that guy that's like, that guy that's
right.
like digging for diamonds, and you're like, you
Yeah.
were maybe close to giving up, and then you fucking got it, and now you're killing it.
Literally, I'll give an example. My boy, uh, he passed probably 10 top step accounts, right?
Hmm.
He got them funded, paid the fee, and then makes 5K, risk it all. And then he's like, bro, I can't do this no more. I'm gonna take a break. I'm like, no, this is not the time you take a break. And then he literally buys another account last week of 50K. And then in 2, 3 days makes 40K on a 50K
Wow,
account.
really?
Yes. Trading himself, his own trades. And he's like, bro, I'm so glad you told me to stay in and not take a break because I'm getting a 5K payout tomorrow. And I'm buying 4 more accounts. And I'm like, see, there you go. That's what happens. You're right around the corner.
Oh, yes. And then for people that don't know, like, I don't know if just want to clear this. Somebody made 40K. The max payout for top seven and first payout is 5K.
Right.
People might comment like, oh, if you made 40K, why would you not take it all out? This is why. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about Alpha is they're 15K. So you have three. You can take out 45K. First one, that's the really nice thing I like about them. But no, yeah, no, I totally agree. A lot of people are like they give up right before they're making a break. So if it's if you really have a passion for it, like especially someone that's been trading for 3-4 years, you probably do have a passion. Like don't give up. Because you could be in one of the stories that's like you were struggling and then boom, you find your break and you find your momentum. And trading is all about like that confidence, the momentum with you.
Hmm.
When you get those hot streaks, that's usually when you make your most of your money. So thank you for being here, Adrian. Really appreciate it. I really love doing this kind of stuff because people relate a lot more to you than to me. Because I've been doing it for so long. They're like, they watch all my shit. They're tired of hearing me talk. But seeing somebody that, they're getting their break and killing it, is really motivating. So I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man. I'm glad to be here.
Well, that was an interview with one of my top students, Adrian, killing it. And if you want to join my mentorship and think that maybe you might be the next Adrian, you like his story and want to see if it's a right fit for you, go to the link down below and take a look at applying for my mentorship.